Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome back, everyone. We're starting it off here with Dixie on a weekly time frame for the new year. As you can see, for the last part of the year, we grinded out the lows. We have started off January with a little bit of upside into Dixie. While Bitcoin and ETH is at the highs, Dixie is at the bottoms, and we are officially kicking off the new year with Dixie putting in a local low and trying to test into resistance, probably at that 102.50. If you claim that 102.50, our next target will be the next high over here at 104. And keep that in mind that as Dixie goes up, if the inverse relationship is still alive with Bitcoin, we will see Bitcoin and other cryptos put in a local top and look for some downside. Um, One thing I can tell you right now is the funding rate on Bitcoin, ETH, and alt is very, very high, meaning shorts are being rewarded to enter as we are coming into the local tops. So the dynamic is disadvantage is to the people buying the top, and the risk of drop is there for them. And the reward is going to be on the short side if they can get the local top and just eat funding for a while, because it is almost a tenth of a percent, which is pretty high. It's almost 10 times larger than what it normally is. So just keep that in mind. That's all I had basically for the Dixie situation. You see, we're putting in local lows. I'm looking for upside on Dixie without a doubt. That's going to put in some pressure on downside on Bitcoin and ETH if the inverse relationship holds true. Here's Bitcoin on a weekly time frame. As you can see, Bitcoin is putting in its local high. We had a little bit of bearish divergence over here, which we already broke through. We're putting in another grab of liquidity into the previous high. And as long as we can float sideways here, the possibility of us taking out the liquidity on the higher level is there. And all that will depend on the close. I'm going to actually go to the daily now. So weekly, you see we are basically looking for the high of the high. The weekly candle this week is trying to put in the local top. Next week, you can look for a pullback and into support. Right now on the daily, you're looking at your, pretty choppy conditions. But if we can get the close at this level or a little bit higher, you will be in bullish control zone. You will be looking for a new high into the next day. So just be aware of that. Don't get too gung ho about shorting. If you're going to be a shorter, ideally you would wait for the candle close and then play off the reaction off of that. Not front running the candle close and shorting, thinking that you got the top. That's probably not going to work out to your benefit. So, quick levels, I'll go back to weekly. You already know that if Bitcoin loses 44,000 on a 4 hour opening close, you know that a local low is probably set, and we're going to go test into support of around 40,700 ish, 41,000. If we can just close the daily above this 45K, then tomorrow I would say that coming into that 48,000 is very, very likely, and maybe even a little bit more than 48,000 to take a liquidity above it. And then we can look for a base to come back down to like 46,000 and then continue out. So just be aware of that moving forward, that after 48, 52 is the target, and that is very, very likely going to happen. Now I will go take a peek at ETH for you guys, and then we'll call it a quick day. Here's ETH on the weekly, doing very similar price action to Bitcoin. You have two drives of bearish divergence already being put in. Same thing as Bitcoin. We're putting out we're trying to grab the liquidity at the top. ETH has not actually done the top grab. Bitcoin has, so ETH is lagging Bitcoin. More than likely, ETH will get pulled up into that level, like Bitcoin, or buy Bitcoin because it's the market cap leader. I'd be looking at 25,000. 2,500, a little bit over 2,500 as the target for us to come poke into. And then if we can get that weekly close above that level, I'll be looking for us to go into 3,000, which is my one-to-one extension of the local low target. So that is what I'm looking for on ETH. The worrying will come if you get any open and closes under 2350. The risk of coming and testing the downside support at 2200 is there again. Now, what I would say is, uh, I'm gonna give you full disclosure. I am short in this red candle. I understand that we are above my short and I'm in the red. I am gonna hold that short as insurance because as we are coming to the top, having a low leverage short and eating the funding, so I'm getting paid funding rate on that short every 8 hours. As long as I don't get into a bad position, that will basically pay me while doing nothing and waiting for the long scalp. Okay. Now I see this little head and shoulder formation, but more than likely it's going to extend all the way up there to like 3,000. And around there, I will do my next addition, but I will slowly be adding into a short into insurance policy short. As we get that first retrace, that's when I will be taking my long. As my short comes into profit, I will take profit. And then when we do the leg out, maybe in the next 3 4 weeks, I will let my short go and basically just DCA into a larger long and re-short higher, possibly around 3,500. 3,000 to 3,500, that $500 range was going to be a lot of uh, volatility. So it will be an area of interest to react to when we get to that point. Right now, this weekly is looking for a local high to be set. So I'm letting the upside come. As upside comes, I'll fill my short. When we get the downside revert test of support, I'll scalp my long and then I'll straddle in the range, knowing that right now we are going to dig up higher before we come down. And then this level here can be the base of support after we go up. This 2,500, yeah, 2,500 might be the new support moving forward because right now it's resistance, but it's about to flip support if you can see left. Just keep that all in mind moving forward. Aside from that, guys, January has started. Get ready. We're expecting a lot of tax cuts this year, and that should be giving us some room to move in the markets. If you guys have any questions or concerns, leave it in the comment section below. If you guys have other assets you would like me to cover, leave it in the comment section below, and I'll get you back to you in the next video. If you're interested in trading with us live or would just like to follow along throughout the day and scalp with us, feel free to join us on the Discord server. The link to the server is in the description of this YouTube video below, alongside all the other affiliate services that I use and recommend that helps the channel grow. So thank you so much for your support. And yeah, aside from that, guys, Juicy January has started. And if you're interested in joining the members,